And as we start to build the data, we'll focus very heavily on building the communities around us. Social media plays a very, very big role in this. Digital marketing, more so than social media, plays a very big role in this. Google, which has over 90% of the market share of internet traffic in India, in terms of when people look for something, they go to Google, becomes a very big deal when it comes to the efforts that we put in our search engine optimization and search engine management efforts. A lot of blogging, a lot of content, very good content, high quality stuff that people really want to read. Again, you think of one blog or a piece of content as a way to market yourself. That's one approach. But we believe that's not going to work going forward. Whatever has happened in the past with companies who have attained success with that kind of an approach has happened, but this is not going to work. What you need to continue to deliver to people out there is value, good quality content, content that they can relate to, content that they are interested in continuing to read about, which will ultimately build the affinity of this community. So we continue to very heavily focus on that and build that community so that we are able to continuously help them. Another very important aspect to this is mobile technologies. A lot of people are using mobile first, and India remains a mobile first economy in a different sense. A lot of people like to call or even give a missed call. But then when you start to think of the new age, when you're looking at smartphones, you're looking at people getting push notifications, you are looking at things that are done for them. We are looking at doing a lot of these. Our Android app currently provides a lot of that information very handy for people on the go. Same type of information that you look for on the web historically, but with an edge, because now with the ability to log in with your Facebook login or your Google login, with ability to connect with your friends right there on the mobile, the opportunities are tremendous. You can really look at mechanisms through which a lot of this information can actually be consumed without you even having to go and look at the applications. So we are increasingly looking at opportunities where we can push a lot of very relevant information to people without really bogging them down. And in all of this, you start to think about, hey, it is still a for-profit business. Where is the money in this? You are burning money left and right. You are going out there collecting all this information. You have an engineering team who's building things one after the other. How do you create money out of it? And when you think of healthcare as an industry and a lot of practices that go on, which sometimes put blemish, sometimes can be a blemish for the industry, because a lot of people do not see it in the good light, from kickbacks, referrals, cuts. When you would think of all those buzzwords or jargons that are prevalent in use, how do you create ethical revenue in an industry like this? Again, another huge challenge for us. We have taken a very hard route on that as well. We have looked at what is it that we offer to the patients. Today, the way we are helping them is we are helping them find the right doctor. We are helping them find the right hospital. And all of this is essentially something that they have come and they have told us. So the value prop for the patients, it's all good and it's all free for them. So it makes sense. We looked at the other side, because at the end of it, the doctor is still the same human being who's going to provide you that medical service. Is there a value proposition that exists for the doctors? And we discovered that doctors, there are a lot of good ones out there. So you take out the top 5% who are extremely busy, who do not care if they get more patients or not, the remaining 95% of them. You take out the bottom 5% who may not know what they're doing. Still, a good, healthy chunk of good doctors out there who are looking to serve the patient. Yes, they also have to earn a livelihood out of it, but at the end of the day, it's the intent that counts. And when we started to go out there and when we talked to them, the big challenge we saw was they are barred from advertising. Indian Medical Association does not allow them to advertise as individual doctors. It's just a practice that's been there since 1962. with maybe a few revisions over last few decades. But at the end of the day, a lot of doctors would not be able to differentiate between advertising and marketing, especially when it comes to online, because it's such an amorphous world out there. It becomes very difficult for somebody in medical profession to understand how online behavior and how online world operates, and that's where we come in. We come in because we are creating a platform where a lot of this information can be created in a manner which does not have any inkling of advertising, because the doctor profiles is just one of the many out of thousands of doctors out there, and patients get to choose. So it is clearly not advertising, because you're not pushing one doctor versus the other down the patient's throat. So that's when we realized, what if we help them get more patients? In a way that makes sense. Online, you think of, I mentioned to you about word of mouth, an industry that medical professionals have depended on for decades, centuries probably. One guy tells the other, good doctor, go. Now again, you think of the new age, the new world, internet, mobile apps. It's online. A lot of doctors would be vetted online, because that's where the behavior is going, that's where the consumers are going. 10 years down the road, I won't even have to justify this to you. So when you think of it, online credibility becomes a very big deal for them. So that's essentially what we have started to do. We have started to charge them a subscription fee to help them build genuine, authentic online credibility. And it is based on the same principles: information that is fully accurate, community reviews and feedback that are genuine. These patients that we actually reach out to collect reviews, these are patients of those doctors. So that's where the big authenticity has come in, because now I know it's not a bot or some guy in Satara giving a review for a Pune-based doctor and has never seen what Pune even looks like. So you have solved one of the very fundamental issues of genuineness in your information. On top of it, we collect these directly from the patients, which means the doctor is not involved in the process. Again, huge amount of authenticity in terms of the expression, the ease and the freedom of expression that the patient has when the doctor is not in front of them. Big thing. A lot of these big discoveries has really helped us. I don't know if I'm really sharing my trade secrets here, but at the end of the day, I believe it's all in execution. There are many things that we will end up finding going forward in terms of what more we can do for both the patient community and the doctor community. But this endeavor continues on. And we already have our plans. We want to go nationwide. We want to look at the cross sections of where the early adoption of online behavior is happening, and that's your top 8 cities in India. And again, it's a no-brainer. You look at it, it's Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Chennai, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Pune. So when you think of these cities, close to about 50% of India's internet traffic is coming from these cities. Close to about 42% of the medical fraternity, the provider industry, is in these cities. That's where early adoption will come in. We want to go everywhere. We want to spread across India. We want to go nationwide. We want to go international. We want to go to other emerging economies which have similar private healthcare practices. So this has been created with that view that we want to become a very global company as we build a lot of value proposition. But we thought to start from India. Huge belief that I have here is, if you are able to create a successful business in India, and if you are able to deal with the intricacies and challenges of the Indian ecosystem, you could go anywhere in the world and be successful. Huge belief that I have in this thing. So India remains that market. We want to go to the next 8 cities. The way we want to think about how we will expand is, we want to be smart about it. We want to use the technology. As with any startup, we face a lot of challenges too. And again, it's no secret, while it might seem like such an interesting, lucrative area, it's an everyday battle for us to make sure our field team stays on track, to make sure the quality of information that we gather remains accurate, that we go through a lot of pain in terms of quality checks for the information that we receive. Our calling team goes through a lot of pain on having these conversations with the doctors. So everyday operational challenges remain. It remains a huge barrier in terms of us making progress faster. But to me, the biggest challenge is capital. It's a very, very capital intensive business. If you have to involve field teams in place, you have to involve offline mechanisms which are not fully technology dependent. And that is something that we have to look at solving. Customers become the biggest way to fund VC industry in India, and funding situation in India in general is not that great. India remains a capital starved economy where VCs would want to know how much revenues you are making even before they talk to you. And again, this is not bad mouthing them, because I'll probably eventually end up taking money from them if I'm able to prove my worth to them. But that challenge remains. And it becomes a difficult job also for the venture capital firm. So, of course, giving them due benefit of the doubt and due respect to what they are also trying to do. But there is this lack of understanding that exists in the Indian market. And to us, when I look at Save Time, that remains a challenge. The way I look at it, and my message to all the entrepreneurs out there who are trying to do all these things, is the best way is to go out there, create something that is useful, let the VC money chase you. Do not chase the VCs. And that's all.
We wish you very good luck with Save Time.
Thank you very much, Prashant. Really appreciate the time that you have taken, and it's been a pleasure.